Hello everyone, welcome to a new STATA video tutorial. My name is Juan and today I'm going to show you how to generate time series variables in STATA. So in this brief tutorial, I'm going to show you how to generate yearly data, quarterly data, monthly data, and daily data. Also in the description of the video, there's a link where you can download the do file so you can replicate this content. If you're working with time series, the first thing that you need to do is to tsset a time variable. If you don't do so, for example, I would like to make a graph, I'm going to type the command tsline and then I will just would like to graph the fed rate. Then what you're going to see is that STATA is telling me you didn't set a tsset variable. Let's begin by generating yearly data. I would like to generate then a new variable, so I will use the command generate. The next thing that you have to do is assign a name to the new variable we are creating. I would like to call it years. You can call it whatever you would like to. In this case, I'm just going to call it years. Then my data starts from the year 1960, so I'm writing there 1960. And the following thing that you have to do is type a plus, then an underscore, n minus 1. So what you are telling then, STATA, with this, is that you would like to increase the observations by 1. So now I can see, for example, if I type browse in the commands, that STATA has generated my yearly data. You can see it starts from 1960 as I have asked, and it's increasing by 1 the observations. So now the next thing that we have to do is just to tsset the variable. That's the command that you need to use to tell STATA that you want to use the variable years then as your time variable. And there we go, we are ready. Now STATA knows that we have to start working with yearly data. Let's generate now quarterly data. Again, I'm going to type generate quarters. I would like to give that name equal, and then I have to type TQ. The TQ is telling basically STATA that the time is quarterly, that's why the Q in there. Then I have to type 1960. I have to tell STATA from which quarter this data starts. In my case, would start from Q1, from the first quarter. So I type Q1, and then again, just I'm going to include the plus underscore n minus 1, which is telling STATA to increase by 1 unit the observations. Now you can see that STATA has generated my variable called quarters. If I type now browse, you can see that STATA has created my variable quarters. However, it has assigned these numbers that I don't really know what these numbers are. So the next step then that we need to do for quarterly data then is going to be to give a format to this series. So I'm going to type format. Then you need to type the percentage. In this case, we're working with quarterly data, so it's TQ. And then I have to say, okay, you want to give a format, quarterly format, to which variable? And the variable that we had generated was called quarters. So I'm going to type quarters now. And now we have given then our variable quarters this type of format, the quarterly format. So I'm going to type browse now, and I'm going to show you how now STATA gave that format to the variables. So that's great. The last thing that we need to do is going to tsset the variable. I'm going to type tsset and then quarters. So now STATA knows that we are working with quarterly data. Let's move now into monthly data. I'm going to type again generate. Now I'm going to type months. That's how I would like to call it. And now instead of being TQ for quarters, it's going to be TM for months. And now in brackets, I have to type 1960. That's the year that it begins. And instead of typing Q for quarters, in this case is monthly, I'm going to type M and then 1 because it starts from the month 1. And again, plus underscore n minus 1. So now STATA has generated my new series called months. We are going to have again the same problem that you can see that STATA is giving these weird numbers that we don't know what month that is. So we have to give the format of monthly data. So I'm going to type format percentage. Now because it's daily data, is going to be monthly data is going to be TM. And then I have to tell STATA which variable I want to give the monthly format to. So in this case, the variable we had generated was called months. I'm going to type months, and that's all. Now we are going to type browse to show you what STATA has done. And you can see that now it has generated the monthly data, 1960 month 1, month 2, month 3, and so on. So now again, the last thing is just to type tsset, and now I tsset my variable months. And that's all. Now Stata knows that we're working with monthly data and that months has to be the time variable. The last series that I'm going to generate today, it's just daily data. So I'm going to type generate. In this case, I would like to call it days. And now the format is I'm going to write is TD because it's now daily data. And the way that you have to put it in brackets is first a day, the first day that you're using. In this case, I'm going to start by day number 1. Then the month, you have to type it like that. In this case would be January. I would like to start the 1st of January and 1960 the year. The next thing, as you know, it's just plus, underscore, and -1. That's all. Now Stata has generated my variable days. It didn't give any format to this, so we have to tell now Stata to use the format percentage. Because it's daily, I'm going to use TD, and then I'm going to type daily, which is days, which is the name of my variable. So again, remember, we're telling Stata to give the variable days the format of daily data. Now it's done. I'm going to type browse, and I'm going to show you now how Stata has generated this series with all daily data. The last thing then that we need to do is to tsset this variable. So I'm going to tsset days, and done. That's going to be all for today. I hope that you found this video useful, and I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you would like to get more content related to applied time series, forecasting, econometrics, and statistics content. Everything is applied to economics, my tutorials. So if you're interested in that, I would like to invite you to subscribe and check. There's a lot of material in there, and I would like you to also check my website where you have all my tutorials available, all the information, and a lot of tips to start implementing different type of models, and a lot of tips for research ideas as well. So thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.